The third noble truth is really good news. The prognosis is positive. Our disease is curable. Suffering can come to an end. And frankly, in these uncharted days of COVID and whatnot, this is a welcome relief. Naroda, cessation, says that the disease is treatable. Suffering can end. What suffering, though? What suffering specifically are we talking about? We're talking about the ceasing of the mind's attachment to ideas, to objects, to experiences that block our path to clear seeing and clear feeling. This is Naroda. Each time we practice mindfulness, each time we meditate, we are putting Naroda to use and slowly waking up. As Ajahn Chah said, if you let go a little, you have a little peace. If you let go a lot, you'll have a lot of peace. And if you let go completely, you'll have complete peace. Naroda is not foreign to us. When we're on the cushion, the most frequently given instruction is to notice when the mind has wandered away and to bring it back to the present moment. In other words, we let go of our habit of attachment, our habit of thinking, our fascination with thinking. This is putting Naroda to practice. We just don't think about it in those terms. Off the cushion, we do this all the time as well. We hang up the phone when a phone call ends. We move on to another task when one task has ended, and we start another one. And at some point or another, we release ourselves and another person from the embrace of a hug. We let go of stopping at a traffic light when it turns green. Things come to an end and we oblige. Many times a day, we don't resist or fight. We just yield because we understand that the moment has passed. Or we definitely bring something to an end, like a meeting or a fight, or we stop clinging to a particular point of view, or deliberately choose to pass on playing a game. Bill and I each of us used to, in our private practice, see a lot of couples. And one of his famous lines is, do you want to be right or do you want a relationship? That is actually the heart of the matter. Do you want to be right or do you want to fight? Or do you want a relationship? Naroda is about letting go, deliberately letting go in an effort to move towards peacefulness, towards harmony, towards less stress and more ease of well-being. And we can begin to see and begin to practice non-clinging, letting go, by stepping out of the content of our thoughts and into noticing feeling tones. So feeling tones are the first impression. That's the heart's business. The heart's first impression of an experience. It crudely categorizes experience as pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Feeling tones are distinct from emotions, which you could say are kind of a higher order of organization of feelings. When you walk into a room with other people and other people are there, you walk into the room and immediately, instinctively, you have the feeling of being comfortable or not comfortable based on that first impression, right? Pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. This feeling tone, these feeling tones trigger craving, which is the seed for clinging. Feeling tones trigger craving, which is the seed for clinging. Now, this is really useful information because if we can start to notice that first impression, when the heart kind of makes that first assessment, we can begin to break the chain of suffering. Because we can learn right there to pause and not react, to smooth it out right there, noticing the uncomfortableness, the pleasant, the unpleasant, the neutral, and right there, smooth it out. We can't change feeling tones. It's kind of like a very automatic thing. An experience happens almost as the experience is happening. The heart is sort of assessing right on the spot. So we can't change feeling tones. They come with the package. But we can learn to resist, to interrupt, to soften our habitual knee-jerk reactions. And we do this incrementally. We can't do it all at once most of the time. It doesn't happen that way, right? It happens by patience and practice. We have to see these things many, many times to begin to slowly unhook from them. So the first encouragement is to let yourself notice reactivity. Notice thinking and notice the charge of that reactivity. Before, during, or after, it does not matter. Meet yourself where you are. And then see those thoughts and see the reactions. Are you thinking anxious, fearful, depressing, daydreaming thoughts? Good. Now you've seen that. Now gently shift out of the content and shift into a slightly more general assessment of those thoughts. Step back. The instructions can sound like this. Step back, lift off, shift attention. Shift attention and notice that feeling tone. Oh, ooh, an anxious thought that likely feels unpleasant, right? A daydreamy thought could be pleasant or unpleasant. So you want to really assess, just because you know what the kind of thought is, now just let it take that step back and what does it feel like, that first assessment. Ooh, okay, breathe, good job. Good job, you've just seen something really important and you've labeled it now. Unpleasant, I've labeled anxious thought or thinking and I feel unpleasantness of that thought. Okay, now take a breath, withdraw attention from the mind and bring that attention back into the body and feel the ripples of that thought. Feel the echo happen. That's what you want to feel, this felt experience now. Now ground, breathe, calm, settle, soothe right here. Stay with the ripples. So you're noticing the ripples and you're soothing. You're deliberately soothing. That whole thing, seeing the thought, stepping back a little bit and getting what is that felt experience? Pleasant, unpleasant, neither. Don't know. Now take a breath, come on back in. Unpleasant feels like this, or pleasant feels like this. Smooth it out, settle it back down. Now we're getting familiar with the territory of when it settles down and release happens, when it completely shifts and lets go. What does that feel like? What does release, complete release feel like when that thought passes and the echo of it passes in your body? Right? Often we feel this sense of, it feels a little calmer, a little easier, a little smoother inside. Notice that. Notice that relief from the suffering, the ending of it. This is what we're looking for. This is the hope of the third noble truth, to feel the end of suffering, to know that the end is possible. It does happen. Everything passes. We will see that. We will see that we are gripped by the thought, and that if we let that thought go, the echo of it will also release from us. This is good news for us. We can do this. This is for our welfare. So let's practice Nirodha. Let's practice interrupting the cycle of suffering today.